Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for a wild trading day. Whoa! This is Wednesday, and we are at the last trading day of November 30th, 2022. It's hard to believe tomorrow's December 1st. We're about 6:40 p.m. I've got to tell you, I've learned over the years that I don't want to go through major market events. In futures, you can't change that in stocks. You make your investment, you do it, it's different. You can treat spiders and ETFs the way you do futures. But in the futures markets, here you're getting the Fed chair coming out and speaking today after we've had a host of other Fed members. And what is he doing? All right, because of the blackout period that's going to come up, he's sort of tipping his hand as to where he stands, and it's going to be potentially a crazy day because of it. And that's basically what you had. The market was, this morning, nothing really going on. And once the Fed chair came out, that was it. Tonight's report and my full research, I write so much about this. I go into depth about OPEC's dilemma that they have this coming week. I review in detail what the Fed chair said, where I think the market might be wrong in what they're looking at, and how to put it all together. Now, before we get too far, and I'm going to get to this and talk about these markets, remember, we're having right now, and it's coming to an end, our Cyber Week special. So if you've been looking for a situation to get my market research and free, you can get either my charting course, my Bollinger Band course, and by this weekend, I should be completely through with my outside day course. We'll put it together next week. It'll be released, I'm guessing, the end of next week. It's right in front of you. You can give any of these away as a gift. You can buy the course. You can buy the research, give it to somebody else, keep the course for yourself. We'll work with you any way that you want to go with it. I promise you this. I am raising prices sharply on all of these in 2023. So all of these courses are going up in price quite a bit. They're worth more than they are. I let things go, but as I was doing the outside day course and looking around the internet as to what people are selling information that I don't think is anywhere near as good, I'm amazed at how low I am in price. And admittedly, I haven't changed the price on my charting course in years, many years. The Bollinger Band course has never come out in the past 2 years that I've had it out there. It's time to raise the prices. And certainly as I'm doing this and I'm realizing how much effort goes into the outside day course and things you probably haven't seen and a pattern you see all the time, why not do it? So that's how it's going to work. But the advantage to you is you can buy any of the one-year subscriptions. You decide what you want to do with it. It's pretty darn simple. And you'll find these course values are actually going to pay for themselves when I'm through right after December. So it's coming, and it's coming quick. How do you go about doing all this? It's pretty darn simple. You just take your cursor at this point. You move it to the top. Anywhere on there, you'll get the link. Just give it a click and away you go. As I said, it's coming to an end rather quickly. Enjoy this. I think you'll find it worth its effort. So now let's go back to the charts if we could and talk about what we have here. But I do want to show you one other thing before we get too far. These are all the reports coming out first thing in the morning tomorrow. You got Challenger grade, the Dallas Fed President Logan speaking, jobless claims. Personal income and consumption is going to have the PCE number in it. You got S&P Global Group with November manufacturing sector PMIs. The ISM PMIs are coming out. You got construction spending. Then you get the natural gas coming out. And then, as I said, you got to get yourself ready for OPEC this weekend. It's a heck of a lot. I'm probably going to let the markets go into those reports, and then I'll issue special updates to my clients as to things I want to do. I want to get that out of the way. Now, there's one more elephant in the room, and that's the jobs data report on Friday. And as the Fed chair today was telling you, as much as he wants to backtrack from 75-point hikes, they've done 4 of those. It sounds like he wants to go to 50. It's data dependent. He did not get what he wanted out of the JOLTS data today. He was very clear about that. So if the jobs data comes out too strong, You could take today's rally and flip that on its end, and then you got the CPI data coming up again. That doesn't mean you have to stop it. You see all those reports? You go into them. I'll wait. That's why I'm still here after decades. You learn how to work with this stuff. You learn that even if you knew the report, even if you knew what the Fed chair was going to say, you'd probably never get it right as to which way the market's going to go. 700-point rally in the Dow today? Come on. All right. In the gold market, as you can see, the market's staying up. Why? Well, we know why. It's pretty simple. Gold is tied to the dollar. And if the dollar drops for this phase of the market, gold is rallying. It's actually that simple. And this is where you're at. You're just sort of hanging right in here, waiting for the next whatever shoe it is. You have a pattern of higher lows, higher highs, bullish. Until the market gets under 1750, 290, the trend remains up. Where's potential resistance? Well, one of the numbers, 1824.90, we've talked about that at length. But the other number you look for is where is the Bollinger Band? And if you remember, it started to arc yesterday. And you can see it's continuing to arc down. Now, I've got a little pause in it because of the good rally today, but that's your resistance zone. Let's call it that. 1812.30 to 1824.60 to keep the trend going. You don't want to take out 1750, 290. You've already corrected, past tense, out of an overbought condition. If this market wants to go, there's nothing to stop it. That's the way to look at it. The gold-silver ratio, look at how silver came alive. Now, part of this is because the head of the health departments in Russia, a lady that unfortunately, she's going to be retiring soon, but she has come out and she has said that the strain that Russia is dealing with is not as bad as prior strains. Code word, maybe they can loosen up a little bit, and some of the cities are doing that right now. Now, it all coincides, of course, with the protesters, and as much as you'll hear they want to go after them, blah, 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 the simple fact is the message is loud and clear. You cannot take a country this size and for 3 years lock everybody in and say you can't eat, you can't do anything, you're running it that way and think you're not going to get revolution on your hand. It takes a while, but it's finally happening, and I believe the government is getting the picture. I am not saying they're going to throw a light switch and change it instantly. You've heard me say that. Small changes, but they're coming now. In the silver, you stuck your neck out today over the upper band. What are the odds of staying over an upper Bollinger Band? Well, you do it 5% of the time, but you pull back into it in very fast order. Look for that to be the key. Is that bearish? Absolutely not. This is a sign that the market is still bullish prior to today's action, and I think we should back up just one day or so here just so you can see. You can see the market today, where did it stop? The rally stopped right at the upper Bollinger Band. When you open tonight, you got to make up the difference of the 12:30 settlement time to what went on till late in the day. Remember, Fed Chair Powell didn't take the podium until 12:30. So all the action afterwards, you have to catch up with it, and that's what the market is doing. Will it stay over it? Hard to tell. In the copper, the same thing. And as you can see, copper's just hanging here. I said it's fighting at that 18-day average of closes, continues to do so, but not a trend in place yet. In the platinum, right up to the upper band, what do I think the pros do with those upper bands? Liquidate. They don't get bearish. It's one thing to take money off the table. It's another to stay with it and go, oh, it's going higher. I think they liquidate. In the palladium market, you can see how the market's fighting. Now, I'm getting the first words. There were stories today about a potential palladium shortage showing up mid-year next year. And they're giving all the reasons why this could be the case. Well, you know, if China comes back to Earth, how's that? Let people out. They're going to use a lot of it, and the rest of the world is also looking at it. If we can beat inflation and stop trying to suppress the economies as much as we're doing right now to fight inflation in all the Western economies, that could also have an impact. But we're not there. We're still in the midst of this fight, and I don't think people listened to what the Fed chair, but I'll go into that in the financial market review. In the dollar, you rallied today as I thought you would. You had lost, remember this, you had lost the bearish embedded reading. The goal was to get to the 18-day average, the red line. That's all that it means. Whatever it does from there, it does. You tell me what it did. It basically got right there, went through it by 0.3%, and boom, falls right back from that 70 some odd points. I mean, you talk about the value of the enhanced Bollinger Band course, you're staring at it right in front of you. These are the things you learn with it, and you work with those. So as I put it together, I want to remind you, this is your last opportunity to get these different values. I'm probably going to raise the prices of the course before Christmas, just so you know. I don't have to wait till the beginning of the year. So I'm thinking it through as I'm talking to you, and why not? I think I want that out for the outside day course before I ever release it. So I'm thinking this through. So you get all this 1-year subscription to any of our products. Going to get it if you're a current subscriber. You've gotten emails how you can take advantage of this, add-on products, different ways to do it. There's something for everybody here. Just move your cursor to the very top and away you go. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day. It's going to be exciting tomorrow. You saw those reports? I'll see you tomorrow.